everybody, and welcome back to Art a la Carte. And in this video I'm going to be walking you guys through the process I take when creating and designing a character. And this is actually going to be several different videos. It's not going to be like a one-on-one series, but it'll have several different parts to it that I'll put out over the next couple of weeks. So this is part one, getting and designing your character. Now this goes for something if you're designing like a character that you're going to illustrate, maybe in a book or in like a comic, something you're going to, you want to draw this character over and over and over again and kind of have them look the same. This is going to take you through the basic steps. For this one I am drawing a character named Pearl, and she is a miniature mermaid. And so I have a fun little project I'm going to be working on, hopefully be able to finish it, and I'll be taking you guys along the journey with that. So the first thing I do is I think about the actual style that I want to go with before I even begin to sketch out and design. If it's something that I'm going to be drawing a lot of, if I'm going to be drawing a lot of this character, then I want to kind of maybe think about making the character a little bit more simplified. Every time you add more detail to a character, it adds elements to that character, and it's going to be more challenging to reproduce that character again and again and again. So if it's something like a comic where you're going to be drawing this a lot, that's something you might want to consider. Of course, it's okay if you want to make a detailed character and have to draw them over and over and over again. But the simpler the base character is, the easier it is to be able to produce this. So Pearl is actually going to be a really, really simplistic character. So I want to keep her very simple, very kind of a cute form and a style. And so I kind of decided on those kind of ideas. I also wanted her hair to be kind of one main shape and not a ton of different like tendrils and, you know, lots of details in her outfit or her fin, things like that. So I kind of already had an idea of how I wanted to build her up. So the next part comes to defining the characteristics of who she is. And I kind of have a rule of thumb that even if I already have a character design that I really, really like, I like that's the way it is, I'm going to try to draw that character 3 different times in a slightly different styles or change-ups and different things. Drawing her in this simplistic kind of cute form, I'm going to draw her 3 different times, and you'll see there's going to be some slight variations. There's variations in the way I draw her bangs, in her body shape, in her fin, in her face, how I draw her eyes, how I draw her mouth, how I draw her arms. All those different things are going to have slightly little different variations. The reason that I want to draw them 3 different times is because if you draw one and fall in love with that, you don't allow yourself to think outside of the box of that character design. You are totally 100% sold on that character, and you might overlook some flaws or some possibilities of making them better. So if you draw it 3 different times and make yourself, even if you think, okay, I'm not going to like this hairstyle, but I'm going to change this up, I'm going to draw it this way even though I don't like it. If you make yourself do that, it does, at least for me, break that connection I have with that first design and allows me to kind of see outside of the box and go, okay, there's some possibilities here. So the first design that I did with Pearl, I really liked it, and I actually thought that's the design I'm going to go with. And if you look at the final design, it's pretty close to that. But when I finished drawing these 3 characters, I then looked over them and said, okay, if there's anything I could change, what is it about? And I'll go through and I'll pick out different things about the different characters. So on my sketch sheet, you're going to notice I'm going to take and I'm going to circle different things I like. I actually liked the fin I did on the last girl better. The other one was kind of a simple little loop, but I actually liked how it came up to the point. I did like the first mermaid's design for the hair. I had a starfish in her hair, and that's going to be a lot of, even that small little bit of a detail is a lot to continue to draw over and over and over again. I'll also take on my little just sheets and just write little notes about things that I like I like the shape of the third girl's face, but I don't like her face. So I like her face. I like the top of the mermaid's fin as it just kind of comes smoothly over the top. I just make tons of notes. Once I have all the notes written out and I kind of look through, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a finalized sketch of the design for my character. I'll do this while referring back to the 3 other pictures and continue to draw her, and just to make sure this is how I like her. This is what I want her to look like. So looking back at those pictures and continuing to draw her, put everything into the perspective and the way that I want her to be. I will sometimes even go through and ink this in or define the lines so I have a really crisp, clear design on this character. If you want to be able to draw a character that looks exactly like that same character time and time and time again, you know, maybe in a different position or a different angle, but you could tell this is the exact same character, you need to make sure that you define your decisions, that you know exactly how the hair is going to look. If she does have any kind of jewelry or decoration, I ended up doing a pearl instead of a starfish. I put a pearl and then put 2 just kind of little seaweed leaves in her hair. And there was enough detail to give her a little personality, but not being so detailed that it was really hard to draw her. So that is how I designed a character. So I'm going to do this again really quickly one more time. I have another character in the project I'm working on who is a little snail named Neville, and I needed to design him. I haven't drawn a lot of snails before, so it was I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted him to look like. So I drew him out really quickly 3 different ways. The things I did know about Neville was that he does not talk. And he doesn't have a lot of expressions. He's the kind of character that you really don't know if he's thinking at all. So I didn't want a character that had too much expression. In a couple of the designs, I had put a mouth on him. It made him too readable. You could tell if he was happy or sad or all that. I want Neville to be just kind of a blank slate. He's alive and he does stuff. You just don't know if he's thinking about it, you know. So he's that kind of character. So I finished 3 different designs and also designing 3 different types of shells. And I went ahead and started drawing out what I thought would be his finished piece. And you'll see in this one, the one in pink, he does have an expression. I gave him a little smile. I thought that was really cute. But then I really looked back at his character and he doesn't have a personality per se, or he's very unreadable as far as a personality. I want him to be like a snail. When you look at a snail, they don't super have a personality. And I wanted him to kind of keep that. He's just kind of there. And so I went back and redesigned him a little bit. I wanted to give him a little weight to his snail body, but without making it a mouth. But I do like the snail design with the mouth. I might use him again in another project if I have to do a snail. I think that's kind of fun how he has a little mouth. So the very first step is first figure out what kind of character you want and kind of a base style that you want, and then draw that character out several different times so that you can get really some different details and pick out things that you really like about those designs, and then make your final draw. So in the next video in this series, which will probably come out next week, we'll go into our next step, which is getting to know your character. How, now that you've designed it, you don't want to jump right into just working on your finished product. You need to get to know your character, and it's going to iron out some of the flaws. So I'm going to show you how you do that. So if you're brand new to this channel, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on that video or any of my other videos coming out. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up so that I know that you like these types of videos. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. And as always, God bless you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!